The LG G6 and the BlackBerry KEYone are very different phones on first sight. Well, they also are in second, but people are still debating whether to get the LG G6 or the BlackBerry KEYone, a boring slap of phone with high specs, or a productivity device like the KEYone. It's me, Ola, and in this video we'll find out which one's better. But again, we have to take a break and thank cloth.co.uk because they provided the LG G6 for me to test it and review it. So thank you so much for that. If you need a new phone or you're just interested maybe in picking up another device, go on their website cloth.co.uk. They have awesome offers. They have so many phones on offer. So if you need one, just go there, check it out. They have the LG G6 and also all the BlackBerry phones. So do that. The link to their website is in the description box below. The phones are very similar in size. However, the G6 is noticeably thinner than the KEYone. The G6 is built from glass panels on the front and the back and an aluminum frame surrounding the device. That makes it really slippery and it feels like you're handling a piece of jewelry. The KEYone has a much better feel in the hands because it uses a rubberized back, making it easier to hold, and it's also much sturdier. The frame is also made from aluminum. The G6 only has 3 buttons on the whole phone. Volume controls on the frame and a power button on the back, which is incorporated in the fingerprint sensor, which is also something new for me. The KEYone has 4 buttons, the power button on the left, volume controls on the right, and a convenience key which can be programmed to open any app on the phone. Both have a mono speaker on the bottom right corner, which can be easily covered, but it does have more of a mute effect on the LG G6. Next to the speaker, they use a USB-C connector to charge the 3300 mAh battery on the G6 and the 3500 mAh battery on the KEYone. Battery life seems to be better on the KEYone, even though the G6's isn't bad either, with around 6 hours of screen on time. That could be because of the processor that is used in the KEYone. It uses a Snapdragon 625 processor, which isn't the fastest, but definitely one that is kind to your battery. The G6 uses a Snapdragon 821 processor, which clearly is newer and faster. You can see that while opening apps on both phones. The G6 is generally a second or a tad quicker than the KEYone. I don't think that it's really noticeable in everyday life, but if you're all about power, the G6 is better. It also has a big advantage in terms of RAM or memory. With 4 GB over the 3 GB on the KEYone, it's able to keep apps running in the background easily even though you're running other apps on top of it. The KEYone has to reload those apps when they're not in use. The biggest difference between those phones definitely and obviously is the keyboard and the screen size. The KEYone uses a 4.5-inch Full HD display with a resolution of 1080 by 1620 pixels and a PPI count of 433 with a 3:2 aspect ratio. The G6 has a much bigger 5.7-inch Quad HD display with a resolution of 1440 by 2880 pixels and a pixels per inch count of 564, so that's a lot sharper than the KEYone's. The odd aspect ratio of 18:9 makes it kind of odd, but really easy to handle with one hand because it barely has any bezels and it's pretty narrow. The G6 definitely wins here. It gets darker than the KEYone, but it's also much brighter in its normal settings. It's also much sharper with almost 100 pixels per inch more, and it uses an AMOLED display which is battery friendly. The keyboard. Well, personally, I think I have a clear winner here. For everyone who's used a physical keyboard before, you will know their benefits: accuracy, speed, quick launching apps, swiping gestures, and more. I showed a whole video about the keyboard on the KEYone, so just click on the top right corner to watch it. The LG G6's pre-installed on-screen keyboard was a nightmare for me, so I installed the BlackBerry's on-screen keyboard. Still, I can't get to like them somehow. Both have a very clean and simple theme running on Android 7. The LG G6 has access to the Google Assistant, which is very good and helpful. The KEYone doesn't, however. I'd love to see a better assistant than Google Now for it. Gaming is also something the KEYone doesn't do too well. Specs would be good enough, but the small display and the keyboard on the bottom just make it bad for those things. So which one should you pick, the LG G6 or the BlackBerry KEYone? For me it's obvious, I definitely pick the BlackBerry KEYone. I need a device that is sturdy, that I don't have to handle like a fragile eggshell, and something that gets stuff done, something that is for productivity. So if you need a lot of multimedia or you do a lot of social media, then the LG G6 is a phone for you, also if you do a lot of gaming. It's also 160 euros cheaper than the BlackBerry KEYone currently in the German market. So if price is a thing, maybe you should pick the LG G6. But for me, it's obvious, I picked the BlackBerry KEYone. So that's it, a quick comparison between the BlackBerry KEYone and the LG G6. If you liked it, make sure you like the video, subscribe to my channel if you want to stay updated with the newest videos about BlackBerry and more. Also make sure to comment on this video, which one would you pick? And follow me on my social media channels, Instagram and Twitter. You can see them right now below this video. And also I have a BlackBerry Messenger channel pin. It's in the description box below. See you in my next video. Until then, bye.